I'm going to show you how to put together rolled handles with finished raw edges. This is using a vinyl. So you could have raw edges, but if you have a cotton fabric that you're using, you could also do this with cotton. I'll show you how to do that. I am using plastic tubing that I will be having on my website here shortly. I'm just gonna have some tubing, and I'm gonna have those in different increments for handle sizes, and you can also cut it down as well. It's very easy to cut down. I'll show you how to cut it down here during this tutorial. And then I'm going to be having my handle pieces, and then I've got everything marked out, and I need double-sided tape. So that's all you need to get started today. The dimensions on this all depends on the size of your tubing. So if you purchase tubing with me, you actually get a template that is this edge here as well as the long edge, and it'll tell you what size it is for 1 inch strap connector. So if you need something smaller, then you will need to probably choose a smaller tubing for that. So the tubing size also goes with the size of the hardware. It's just how we're doing it right now. All right, so I'm going to put my tubing to the side right now, and I'll come back to that here in just a few minutes. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my double-sided tape down the length of my strap. Okay, so I'm putting it right up against that first mark, and that's going to be considered the tape mark on your pattern piece. That's called the tape mark. I'm not sure if it's going to be color coordinated yet or not. We're working on that right now as we speak. So right, okay, and then over here, I'm going to put that on the tape mark as well. Actually, this one here, I've learned it's actually better to put it all the way against the edge, since the side is a little bit more, I don't know why it's more finicky. I think it's because it's at an angle. So I'm going to go ahead and put that right up against the edge. There and there. Okay, that's all I need for my double-sided tape. So right now what I'm going to do is I am going to make a small notch right into those marks right here on both sides. Where it angles and meets together, there's going to be a little cut notch placement there. This just helps the straps lay a little bit better when we do our rolling. Okay, so what I like to do is peel one side at a time, and I'm going to fold at that line. So it's going to come in like that, and I just pick this up just a little bit so I can get this side up. So just like that, and then I'm going to fold to that line as well. So as you can see, some of this tape is coming up. This tape is a vinyl tape. It's not extra sticky, so it doesn't come up your needle. So sometimes it does come up. You have to kind of like rub it in a little bit, and it will stay down. So you could rub it in, or you could take it to the edge of your machine and just kind of rub it against your machine, and it just really makes that flat. Just be careful not to stretch your vinyl. I'd rather it come up just a little bit and use a couple clips than stretch my vinyl by mistake. Okay, so now that I've done that, okay, what you want is to have this here be at least a 1/4 inch, if not 3/8 of an inch folded in on each side. You want to have enough fabric in order for it, when you push it together, that it stays together, and as well as you have room to sew. So this particular one here, if I put it from side to side, it's a little bit long on this side as well as this side. So what you want to do is you want to have the tubing stop here and go at an angle, right at that mark right here. So that mark right there on the pattern piece, that's where you want the tubing to stop and then come at an angle. See how this is coming at an angle? I want it to be like so that some of it is coming out onto this triangular piece, but that it's not all the way in, and then this is kind of floppy. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it. It's very easy. You're going to cut at an angle. I always like to cut it. It does have a little bit of a curve to it because it is stored, rolled up. So it's no right or wrong way to do it. You just cut off a little piece like that. And you want it to sit like so. And then over here, on this side, I have about 1 inch to go as well. So I'm just going to put my finger there and cut at an angle. I always say take it little by little. It's easier to take away than it is to add. So once you've cut it, you're done. So make sure you have a good, there we go. That's pretty good for me. So before you put your tubing on, you're going to want to sew down some faux stitches from this side and just a couple on this side. So each of the triangular edges, I'm going to do a top stitch. It's more for decorative, but it's also keeping this folded edge down because right now it's just tape. Come to that right there where that the triangle meets this rectangular piece, pivot and go 2 stitches, back stitch there, and take it off. I went 3 stitches that time, but it's okay. And repeat the same process with the other side. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold my piping like so. Okay, I like to have it that it kind of sticks up so that these 2 side pieces are facing up. All right, and then I'm going to grab this side over here and clip it. I like for this to mimic here and just kind of like slowly run my way down. Make sure that over here as well it's also doing the same thing over here. So kind of like at my start and end points, I start clipping there first. I like to make sure my clips are all going the same direction. What that means is the flat sides are up against the flat parts. The flat parts are facing me. The curved part is facing away from me. You could put tape on here, but I find that it's better to do clips because then you have to use a really sticky tape and then it's gumming up your needle, so it's kind of counterproductive at that point. Make it meet up together and clip. Meet it together and clip. Meet it together and clip. Meet it together and clip. So as you can tell, it's actually starting to try to like naturally roll on itself. As long as in here it's faced up the same direction and here it's faced up the direction, it actually looks really good. All right, so now I'm going to go to the sewing machine and show you how to do it on your sewing machine. Okay, so with my Teflon foot, I'm using a Teflon foot because I am using vinyl. If you're not using vinyl or cork or leather, you don't have to have a Teflon foot, but if you are using vinyl, I do suggest getting a Teflon foot. If you don't have one, I'll link it in the description box below where you can purchase one. For those who have domestic sewing machines, I'll also put one that's equivalent to this. This is a narrowed foot Teflon foot, which I really like because then I don't have to switch over to a zipper foot. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get really close. I'm going to just kind of push this guy out the way just a little bit. Keep it pinched together because you want it to stay pinched together and kind of start off where you left off before. Right there. I'm going to go one stitch forward, one stitch back, and then you're going to just ride that right up against the side of your tubing, making sure everything's staying in place. You see, I'm just trying to make sure everything's just right on top of each other. Just pushing it and making sure it's laying together, that one of the ledges isn't longer than the other. I'm trying to use my left hand more so that way you guys can see what I'm doing on the camera. So if it feels awkward, it kind of is, just because I'm doing it for a video. Okay, coming back here to the end, make sure everything is sticking together. See that? Just kind of come back to where you made those other stitches before. Back stitch, lock in those stitches and snip it off. And that's what you get. These beautiful rolled handles. This tubing makes a huge difference. If you wanted to get in much closer to your tubing, you can switch off to a zipper foot. I haven't had much luck finding a zipper foot for Teflon, so the narrowed one is as close as I can get, and that's how I get my measurements here. Okay, well, thank you so much for staying tuned with us, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And leave a comment in the comments box below. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have in regards to rolled handles. If you have something that you're interested in learning how to do and you want me to break it down for you, I can do that as well. So thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate all of your support, and I hope you guys have a good week. Thanks. Bye. For more details and information, visit our website at garnersewingroom.com. And also follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Garner Sewing Room. Thank you so much and have a blessed day.